Pressure Washing Institute Contractors First. Here with my buddy John Tornabene, the garage cleaning instructor and master. How are you doing tonight, John?
Not bad. When I get off this call tonight or this podcast, I'm going to be packing. We're driving for Florida tomorrow morning. I'm picking up one of my crew guys, and we're going to drive all the way down to Florida. I can't wait. It's cold here. It's cold, so I can't wait.
And we are live, by the way, John. We are good. All the broadcasts went off, as you can see right there. There we are.
Very good.
We
good.
are live.
Nice.
Live. We made it. What's up, Eric? We'll see you guys in a couple of days. We will be up there or down there, I should say. We'll be down south, closer to some of the Southerners with some Southern hospitality.
Yep, and nice weather.
Beautiful weather. Well, John, I'm going to pull up this thing. One of the things I want to mention that was added to the show, we're going to have Burke Allen, and he's going to be doing a water-fed pole training as well. By the way, guys, this is a free event. It says free. It is a free event. John does a paid engagement on the 19th at 2 p.m. You could go to that paid engagement, and it is on the same property this year. Last year we went off to an embassy suite, but this year it's right on property. Literally, you guys sign up for the garage cleaning. You walk like 40 yards out the front door of the thing over to John's actually giant ballroom. You could probably have 500 people in this place that they got you in, John.
Well, you know what? They can partition it off. We're probably looking at about 30 people, something like that, maybe more, which is nice. You know, that's a nice size class. Considering I've been in Florida, I teach Florida is the third straight time in 12 months. So probably a little oversaturated, but the class is doing well. The nice thing is, Ron knows this. Whatever I'm telling you guys, he already knows. He's the host. He's the MC. Trudy Wickman's the host. I'm waterfront. So when we're done with the class, and Ron's going to teach the sales in the end because that's his main thing. Ron's the king of commercial sales. When the class is done, everybody gets a certificate. My wife already took care of them all, but just to show you guys, this is what everybody gets. We're going to walk out by the water. We are going to take pictures with the shirts, not the AC/DC shirt, of course, but and I love this band. And we'll with the certificates, and we're going to talk shop. I mean, what best place to talk shop? I'm just going to be the day I'm teaching my class, Ron. I looked at the weather. It's 82 for a high and 65 for a low, and it's sunny. So I like these memorable kind of stuff.
That weather changed, John.
What is it now?
It's raining.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It's not. I swear to you, it's raining, man. It's raining.
All right, now you got to make me look. Gotta look at the big phone. Let me see. I don't think it's raining, but if it's raining, the class is inside anyway. You know. Let me see. Estero, Florida. Where I'm going to go. My house in South Florida. It's 82 degrees every day that week. Let me see. Miramar Beach, Florida, right, Ron? That's where it's at.
Okay. The report says it's not going to rain until Friday, so you're okay. It changed again. It did say it was going to rain in the afternoon on Thursday.
Sunny and partly cloudy, 83 degrees. I don't know if you guys
mine says 82, but hey.
Wait, let me see it. There it is. Nevertheless, listen, a lot of us, I have a couple guys coming from Canada. Might be a guy coming from Alaska. There was a guy from Utah that was coming, but he had to cancel. So that was the end of him coming. He's going to maybe come if I do another class in 2023. So far, I got none scheduled. I got 3 offers. But wherever everybody's coming from outside of Arizona, the weather's going to be nice because Arizona weather in the winter is like, what's the temperatures by you, Ron?
Man, it's beautiful, man.
You're probably in his dry air, which is great. But Ron, I've been to Arizona. I'll probably go in there again in November to see my nephew and his child and of course his wife. But you're on the water in Florida. There ain't no water in Arizona unless you go where? Where's the water in Arizona?
There's all kinds of water in Arizona.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What kind of water? Puddles?
We got more water here than anybody can shake a stick at.
Yeah, right.
We can go 18 years before we even have a drought.
No, I'm not talking about rain. I'm talking about waterfronts. Like my house is down in the Gulf of Mexico. I live in Long Island, surrounded by water, oceans. Uh,
I'm only 3.5 hours from the Baja.
yeah, well,
90 minutes from snow skiing, 3.5 hours to
that's
the
cool.
beach.
When you come, Ron will be in my class. He's literally 5 seconds from the water.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
It'll be a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun this week. It's going to be a different. It's going to be a different kind of show. I can guarantee you that. None of these shows, man, are ever the same. That's why I try to tell people all the time. I try to explain to them, like, they go, "Well, you want to get a feel for the show." The attendees really make the show, and how the vibe goes is how the attendees are there, and everybody's kind of vibing together. It's going to be a good show, though. There's no
Oh
doubt.
yeah. Last year she had about 400 people there in that range, and it was the largest free industry event of last year. And you know what's funny here? Trudy does her show in the beginning of the year. So when she did it last January, and my class had like 46 people in there then. When she did it in January, now everybody look, we're all competitive in business. I don't care what guys say. Oh no, I give up all my secrets to my local contractor. We're all competitive. We're business owners, but it's smart to be friendly with your local competitors. Like Bruce Martin's on here. Bruce Martin's in the next state. Oh, he was actually in Long Island doing work. A friend of mine been in my shop. But the thing here is, when she did this thing last year, Ron, she had I think it was like around, how many people were there? Around 400, give or so.
It was just a little over 400.
Yeah.
Everybody
Well,
in the room. I mean, there was, there's probably 30 of us on the whole crew,
right.
so
So they had the whole year. People had the whole year to beat that event. Now, look, it's not about winning and losing with this stuff. I'm very competitive, but the whole year, and there was no larger industry event. Matter of fact, she was even bigger than some of the paid events. So now here we are in January 18th to 19th, coming up this week, and right off the bat, her event's going to have hundreds of people, hundreds. So now, when you see this event and the training stations, as Ron could tell you, is the largest in the globe as far as industry training stations. So this is a big thing, and it's all free. But the thing here is, if I was doing an event down the road, which I haven't done my own event since Vegas in 2013, but if I was, I want to try to take her down. Nobody took her down last year, so that tells you how important this event is, and it's free. You can't beat it. It's free, and Trudy is giving away, her own company is giving away 2 power washers worth about $2,000 a piece. There's another company giving away another power washer. Whisper Washer is giving a custom red surface machine away, which if I win that, I'm keeping it. I always give away stuff I win. But they're giving away hose reels. That's the surface machine that Ron just put up. Red, custom red by Whisper Wash. They're giving away another surface machine. They're giving away probably $10,000+ worth of stuff. So you got to get down and you got to be in it to win it.
You got to be there to win. That's for sure.
That's
There's
right.
no winning unless you're there.
That's right.
No winning unless you're there. I think this was the best picture of the entire year that was taken right there.
That was me last year. I had vertigo then too. I think I'm leaning, but I got the class done. Yeah, that was a good picture. That was we had like 46 people that signed up for that class, and yeah, that was a good time. And you know what, guys tell me, you know what, John? Ron does all free events, but like, John, what do you charge? I say, you know what? Because it's a niche. When you do a niche like that, Ron knows, the biggest companies in our industry, they're all commercial. There's no residential company in the top 5,000 in power washing. They're residential, and a lot of them have a niche or a niche. I go between two because people say, hey, John, it's a niche, it's a niche. But when you learn this certain stuff, where the money is, it could be fleet washing, which is huge. Condo complex cleaning, which is huge. Palm Grove cleaning is the biggest in our industry. It's the biggest. My biggest competitor's got 26,000 employees. So I learned a lot. Guys are reading how I got DOT issues, which I should not have lost that case. But everything costs money. So I charge this, but I don't charge a lot of money. For all the years of me doing this and the 60+ conventions and events I went to, I'm passing my knowledge on to you guys so you can speed up the curve and learn everything I know. And there's a lot of money in parking garage cleaning. as Ron and I said in the past, the country, the world, Europe, Asia, everything's built on concrete. It is built on concrete. It's not built on styrofoam. So there's a lot of money to be clean. And the biggest places to clean, as far as in a certain box, if you will, is parking garages. They're huge. And the biggest one we ever cleaned, Ron, 2 million square feet. We've done it twice. Ron knows that. 2 million square feet, 9 stories high. So I think it was like 250,000 or 225,000, 225,000 per square per floor. There's a lot of money in that. So we got Antonio Curry. Sup, gents? What's up, Antonio? Ron, I can see everybody tonight. Eric Wiener's going to be down there. Hey, Eric, you get my shirt yet? It cost me more than a shirt to send it to Canada. David Allen said, "What's good? What's good washes? There's a lot of good washes. Little pressure washing. What's going on, everybody? National Clean Expo. That's Ron's company. Probably one of his staff. Ron's got a huge staff. You guys, he's got an entourage. You ever see the show Entourage? That's what Ron has. Hello, guys. Bruce Martin. Hey, guys. Good friend of mine here. I'll see you guys there. A little pressure washing. Brent Sygard, I guess I might be saying it wrong. 6 a.m. Tuesday from Pennsylvania. I guess he's flying out. Yeah, Antonio Curry, sup, gents. I need a new rig. Shaking my head. Little's pressure washing, gas stations. Hey, you know, Carlos Gonzalez, good friend of mine, teaches those all the time, but you might learn a little stuff about that here. Anthony Freeman, what's up, John and Ron? I think we might have lost Ron here. Hope you guys hear me. I'm excited.
They can hear you, John. Just because I ducked out on you doesn't mean I'm gone, John.
Chindan guys, full of the Italian guys there.
I was just trying to get those photos in the middle, but it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to.
Ron, you were like one of the, you know, a lot of females I know, I have daughters and sisters, they can multitask. One of the few guys I know can do it is Ron Musgraves. He could multitask. I can't. We got Charlie Daniels. Hey, guys, wish I can go. Sounds like it's going to be a great time. Anthony Freeman, what's up, Ron and John? This show is really the RonJohn show because this is Ron's forte. Ron's quiet tonight. You know why? Because Ron's probably done 1,000 shows since last week.
No, the reality of it is, man, is I still got to go get a haircut in about 30 minutes.
I got mine.
I got to go get a haircut in 30 minutes, and then I got to jump on a plane at 5 a.m.
Oh. How long of a flight is it? Straight flight, right?
No, there's no straight into there from here, unfortunately. I can go into Greenville, South Carolina, but I can't go into Panama Beach with a nonstop flight. It's crazy.
You know what? If I had to do this over, Ron, I probably could have picked you up if you would have flew down to, let's say, the Carolinas. They're going right through the Carolinas next time. Let's see.
Nah, I don't want to drive.
No, well, you know what? I got a comfortable car, 35 miles a gallon.
If I was going to come with you, I would have flew to New York.
Well, you know, if you want,
we could have just been live the entire time.
If you want.
No, my problem is I got to be there tomorrow.
Well, you know what, Ron? If you want, I'm going to give you an open invite. I'll take it down to my house in South Florida. Stewie, I got to drop Stewie off. And you can hang out with me a couple of days.
I might take you out on that. Who knows? We'll see what happens after the event.
I'm by Miami, so you might burn up a little bit.
I got to start drinking martinis then, I guess.
Yeah, listen to you. Chindan. And people said, John, you drink from a gold flask. This thing
copper.
Cost $11,000. It was gold. More than that. It's copper. Copper keeps everything cold. And copper, Ron, is good for you to drink out of. Copper is the best thing. It's clear. It purifies the water, if you can believe it. Copper piping. Let's see. Anthony Freeman, I'll be getting down there tomorrow also. I should be there Tuesday night. It's a 20-hour drive. Philip, Stephanie Drummond. What's up, guys? Looking forward to this. Boy, a lot of people are going. Everybody on here is going to the event. And if you're not
going, everybody's going, man. Everybody's going.
Why not?
It's popular, man. It's popular. How are you doing, Veronica? She's on here tonight.
Ron, I got 2 hats to give away.
Well, Chris Albright.
Yep.
I say that the first two people that tell you that they shared it, just give them a hat.
I'm out of them. I only got two
First
left.
two people.
I got two left. I'm bringing one down for you, and Stewie's taking the other one.
Oh, so we can't give a hat away. Okay.
Wait a minute. Let me see what I have. Yeah, I'm out of hats. I mean, if you look back at here, those in my office too, in my shop. Those are like one and done. They're one and done stuff. I'm out. I gave away everything I have.
You know, I'm not being braggadocious or anything, but
Yes,
every year I don't see there's no slowdown, man. There's no slowdown. There's always growth, and I'm always busy, and I always have been. And
commercial.
I gotta just be honest with you. I'm just being honest. Um, I probably turned away more stuff in the last 3 or 4 years than, a younger John or Ron. We would have took it, right, John? We would have tried to get it done.
I know. I'm just thinking when
But
you talk.
now this is the whole point of this when John says niche, whatever they want to say, whatever they want to call it, tomato. When you start specializing, and
Oh yeah.
and this is a golden nugget for everybody here, because you can't show me a home service millionaire in the wash industry. Okay. In other industries, plumbers, electricians, things like that, you can find that, but you can't find it in our industry. And I mean, not that guys don't do really well, it's just very hard to replicate the house wash per se deal and replicate it and have 25 or 30 units. Where now you're talking, John, we all know that Daryl Mirza, 99 million or $48 million guy, you know what I'm saying? Why? Because he did kitchen exhausts, fleet wash, $758 million annually. They wash trucks, okay? And they're into buying other companies now, and they're spreading their wings and getting into other markets. And we hope that they don't do what they did to the truck market, truck washing industry, and do it to our industry, right, John?
Yeah.
We don't need them
what?
we don't
Yes.
need them in the garage cleaning industry doing stuff for a half a penny, right?
Yeah. Half a penny. This is right. Yeah, you're right. Standard Parking I deal with, they probably make about billions a year. They have 26,000 employees. Let me go back to Fleet Wash though. And I have a company trying to buy me out. Fleet Wash tried to get me 3 times. Fleet Wash, Ron knows, their owners live here in New Jersey. My house is New Jersey, but I live in New York. Yes, there's 2 of them. And the thing with me is, Fleet Wash, if they're watching this thing, I know a couple of their executives, they're gonna buy your company, Ron, pennies to a dollar. I don't care what these guys are telling you. You want to hold your company and sell it. You don't want to sell to a national brand. You want to sell to somebody who's in your area that wants to really pick up and do well. So these companies, national brand companies, guys are going to shoot me here, Ron. They're going to shoot me. But I know this stuff. When national brand companies try to buy you out, they're going to pay you pennies to a dollar because they have multiple aspects to that company. They want to get into fleet wash, they want to get into house wash, they want to get into roof wash, they want to get into garage cleaning, they want to get into Ron, you name it. So I tell people, and Ron, a mutual friend of ours, sold to the company, right? I'm not going to say his name here, but he said he did pretty good with them. I'm like, you know what? You should have held out, because when these national brands come in, and I can name a lot of guys here that sold to national brands, they didn't get the money that they're telling you they did, because these national brands will swallow you up for pennies to a dollar. That's the way it is. That's why I don't sell to them. 4 times now. I got one of them here. 4 times wants me to sell. So I'm not downplaying that. Somebody said earlier, there's somebody up here earlier that said about this. Oh, here we go. Antonio Curry says, what's in store for 2023? How are we all going to go about getting some good money? 2022 sucked for a lot. Well, listen, I don't agree with that. I mean, 2022 was a decent year for us, but I'm going to be honest with you too. I already know my company's numbers. We didn't make any more than we did in 2021 because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but the economy is heading this way. So in 2023, what you really want to do.
Yeah, but John, garage cleaning didn't affect that number. Your residential.
Yeah, residential dropped because
yes,
that's right.
But that was my point.
Yes.
When you got a niche market, when you do something and you specialize in it, and
Right.
you're somewhat proof right there, because here you're testifying that if you had been all garages and
Mhm.
you put all your chips in on garages, you would not have slowed down last year at all. It would
Oh,
have
no.
never slowed down.
No, no, no. What happened to me was we have 5,000 residential customers. I've been doing this for 28 years. That doesn't mean we do 5,000 jobs. Every year we get at least 10% of them contacting us. So my company, when I did the numbers already, and my wife did the numbers, we pretty much were about the same from 2021. But here's the difference, Ron. We're 60-40 commercial to residential, but we have a lot more residential customers, right? So if you're 60-40 here, what happened was whoop, the residential dropped. I never give it up. And Ron says, give it up because that's instant pay. I never have to go to a bank. I never got to take a loan. That pays for my net 30, net 60, net 90. So my company, which is 4 trucks going out, was basically around the same from 2021. But a lot of guys, Ron, in this industry, I see Charlie Dillion says 2022 was amazing. I'm going to guess Charlie does a lot of commercial.
Charlie does a lot more commercial, but he has a residential game.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you something. I won't mention names, but I know a lot of these young bucks that are big guys out there, and they're in Charlie's area, and they didn't know what their residential was doing until they looked into it, because they had so much commercial, and then they realized that, man, all I'm doing, yeah, it's great to get the cash flow and to have that money, but they started realizing that they were not making anything near the amount of money going after repeat customers in the commercial deal. Now, guys, I'm going to explain something to you. When you're talking about community management, this is the definition of commercial work. When a homeowner is paying you, it's residential. When somebody else is paying you, whether it's a house or not, it's commercial. Okay, that's the definition. So I want you guys to understand, there's some guys out there that are confused and say, I'm 80% residential, because they're doing like almost 78% community management, meaning apartment complexes and
Oh, yeah.
condos. That's commercial, guys.
Commercial.
That's not residential. They're washing community management, but it's a commercial deal, and they're
Yes.
washing the stuff over and over and over again. And even that's like a niche market,
Oh,
because
yeah.
we
Huge.
all know the guys that do condos, and we know one of them up there, Jim Van Handel, does
Yeah.
millions of dollars in
2
just
million.
washing condos.
Yeah.
Condos. That's
It's
all he
over 2
does.
million.
And that's all he wants to focus on. He stays in his lane now, and he focuses on that. He built his relationships doing that, and he's now busy probably long after he's dead. I laugh sometimes because guys all the time talk about how far out their book is. John, your book is going to go long after you're dead, isn't it? It's going to
Yeah,
go.
you know something? I was just telling a guy today. We are I'm gonna be in South Florida until March 10th around that time
John,
frame.
just don't beat around the bush. Your crews are going to be working the entire time, and you're going to be making money.
Yeah, but they have service accounts.
Well,
We
I
have
was just
commercial
going to
accounts.
say that easier because that's all you were going to say. And
Well,
that's the difference. Hey, John, that's the difference between the mentality. And I always said this 20 years ago, you used to hear me go, why are you stopping? Why are you stopping?
never
Why are you
stopped.
stopping washing? Well, because it's 38, it's 28 degrees out. I'm like,
No.
so what? You know what I mean? So what? Why? Pat Clark had to talk to Pat. He would shut his entire company down. Remember that in November, and then not reboot it up again until March. What a nightmare. What a
Well, Pat
nightmare.
Clark's the one who said Ron is a king of commercial sales.
Yeah, that's it.
So Ron's gonna do a little. He's gonna do a little episode of my class because
I
Ron,
love Pat. I can't wait to see Pat. I always like hanging out with Pat. He's flying, though. He's not bringing the bus. I was hoping he's going to bring the
Yeah,
bus,
me too.
but he's not.
You
So
know,
Anthony Freeman doesn't agree with one of us. I don't know what it's about, but he
I
don't
love
agree with us.
residential. Yeah, well, Charlie Daniels is right.
We'll argue with him over a beer, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, he's probably gonna agree with you, Ron. The thing here is the residential to me, I don't want anything. So my thing, the residential always pays. The commercial, I can be much bigger if I just go commercial like Ron was. But I think Carlos Gonzalez says all the time, stay in your lane.
Pat
So my
told me
company-
the only reason he does the residential is because when he was first starting out, it was a cash flow. to help him,
Right.
you know,
Yes.
pay bills.
Right.
Because when you're first starting out, to wait for a check for 90 days
Think
on
your
a
company. Think your
$78,000
company.
project,
Right.
it's a problem, right? Because
Of course.
you know, the 78,000 is not profit. You had to come out of your pocket and pay for that. And then these guys that always talk about, well, we're gonna get the money up front. I mean, I've never gotten
No.
money up front for
No.
anything in my entire life.
Yeah. The thing is, you can ask.
Thank you.
Like my old time customers, my biggest contract is net 90, right? We do sweeping 2 million square feet every month. We maintain the garages. The thing is, Ron says he never listen. Most of these commercial companies will not give you money up front. Now, a new account, Ron, I do ask, but we hardly ever get it because they're $1 billion companies or $100 million companies.
No, I will secure payment. Okay. I will secure payment and terms.
Well,
Okay.
you have them sign a
I can't
contract.
stand when somebody calls me up and says, Ron, it's been 35 days and they haven't paid me. Well, what were your terms? They don't even know what the terms were. I'm like, you made this deal and you don't know what the terms are? You know, if it's somebody new, it's going to be payable on presentation, or they're going to give me a purchase card where I'm going to authorize the entire amount. Okay. But I'm not getting paid up front. That never happens. And
Yeah.
most good people that are in business understand that there's a situation where, you know, you're going to go ahead and you're doing in good faith, you're going to get paid because you have a written agreement. This is the other thing too, John. Nothing I do, it's everything's, you know, a written agreement. It's written and
That's right.
it outlines the terms right there. When
Right.
am I getting paid? We just had something happen the other day where it was an emergency fire thing, and I wasn't familiar with the company. They were in our book, I guess, and we had done business with them and they were trusted, but I didn't know because it was somebody else from the company calling up. And I took the call and I locked up the deal. It was actually, I think it was like 2 nights before Christmas or something. They had a big water main line break. And I don't know if you ever seen that out here in the desert. It's probably a mess in New York too, but that it makes everything's everywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like all the mud and the muck, and they had dump trucks and excavators out there hauling the dirt away that was left after this break. But then they got to get the street cleaned up. So they got to do this, and they want this all done like in 8 or 9 hours. You know what I mean? And there's not a lot of people that can do that kind of work and just boom, at the snap of a hat, go do it. Well, I secured the payment from them because I'm not going out there for an $8,000 insurance job that may only take 4 hours and then not get paid for it. You know what I mean? And you're taking care of your people, because guys don't understand. You're not going to get your guys to go out there unless you know,
Right.
they got to all of a sudden come in, work off hours. You know, they're going to have to get a little bit of a bonus to go do that at a moment's notice, you know, and lots of guys just don't understand that. Well, how do you take care of that job? Well, first and foremost, I don't like those one and done jobs, but sometimes if they're a client, you got to go take care of them. You know what I mean? You
Of
got to
course.
go take care of them.
You know what we did years ago, and Bob Schmidt, if he's watching the show, he's the one who hooked me up. There's a company that maintains around 6,000 scales a year. In scales, you know, the weights, when these trucks come in to drop off copper, to drop off any kind of metals, they have to go over the scales. When the scales freeze, it shuts them all. These are multi-million dollar companies. So what we did was, to Bob Schmidt, a friend of mine in New York, which Ron, he could be the next guy I can hook up with you with that shopping center stuff you got going on. But he calls me up because, John, listen, they have 6,000 scales they maintain. Are you willing to, going back, this is about 8, 9 years ago, are you willing to take some of these on? So here's the catch here. I said, of course, it's like net 30. So what happens is, Ron, whenever they call you, if they call you 2 o'clock in the morning, you got to be ready to roll by 4. The beauty of this was, you're going back about 8, 9 years ago. The beauty was, the second, if I leave the door or my guys leave the door, this back when I would jump in once in a while, but the second they go out their door, Ron, it was $150 an hour. So they're going to get in the truck, start it up, and I did like cut myself, but they're going to drive out, let's say,
Yeah,
3
that's
hours
old.
away.
That's old scale pay.
Yeah. Well, now it's probably $250.
It's $250, $300 an hour
Yeah,
if you're
but
going on
you're getting
emergency.
paid every
And
hour.
there's a $500 minimum just to roll out and get started.
Well, you know, a lot of these
Yeah.
scales, like when I was doing them, they were upstate New York or Manhattan. So you getting paid 2 hours to go in there,
This is
2 hours to
this
come
is
back.
funny. Antonio Curry, he wants me to roll out with him. He says I'm always looking for dirty places. Well, guess what? I'm going to give you all another tip. And John knows this. Ron Musgraves don't look for dirty places to clean. He looks for clean places to clean because the people that are clean care about their cleaning and they're doing it often, they're doing it frequently, and that's the person I want to get the business from. I don't go out and look for dirty jobs. That station that I did where the clean and dirty places, that purely was a sensational thing. I was trying to build up my TikTok channel. It worked. I go out there and I find these nasty, disgusting places, which they are nasty and disgusting. But reality is, ask me how many of them I really ever get. None, because they're dirty. They don't care. You
Yeah.
know, you would think that when you go out there and you jump in one of their dumpsters and it's got grease that thick and the rat runs off over there and another rat runs that way, you'd think that they'd want to clean these places, but they don't because they
Yeah.
just don't care.
My favorite customer is a picky customer. They want perfection. They're the ones, if you can please them, that they will recommend you to all their high class friends or all their high class garages. Tom Jurek, who won a prize on my show years ago. Tommy's from Chicago, Ron, up by where you were from. He's a real tough guy, but nice guy to talk to. Look for clean places, not the dirty places. Amen to that. Yeah, because the clean places, we can make them cleaner. And when they see that, they jump on that. And when they see the job you did, they tell their friends. I'm sure if Elon Musk was on here tonight, he'd be like, "Hey, look, what's his name over there, Bezos, I call him Bozo, that owns Amazon." A lot of guys run our industry. People don't realize this. There's a bunch of our guys in our industry to clean the Amazon warehouses because Bezos wants perfection. Now, can you do perfect? No, but can you make it damn near perfect? Sure, you can. So you want a customer that cares about clean. With restaurants, with Walmart, we do some of the accounts, but Walmart's like, blue. They're getting a little lazy there, but because they're all brick and mortar too much. But there's so much work in the commercial. And I go back to Charlie Daniels. He's saying here, I love residential, but commercial where it's at. Absolutely commercial where it's at. The residential pays immediately, and commercial could be up to net 90. I heard guys saying some of them are 6 months long. One more thing, Ron. You guys heard of Cigna. They're a Fortune 90 company. I did the main garage in Connecticut for 2 times. We since lost it, right? But in there, we did a sample. I'm going to talk about this in my garage class that blew them away. They're like, why would you travel 4 hours to do a sample? These commercial companies, the standards aren't the same as residential because most times you don't deal with the owners. But if the standards of residential are here, the commercial's here. But nevertheless,
I'll take you back, John. I'll take you back a few years. Remember when my sister bought Greg Rensler's Landa?
yes, years ago.
Yeah. Tom, she works all year round. She cleans every casino around there and she washes them in all sorts of weather.
Cheetah's got the money.
Yeah. And when they're inside those garages, most of those garages now are heated. You know that. I mean, they're heated because they don't have those open garages like like most places have, because what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to that fire protection system coming off the lakefront in Chicago? What's gonna happen, man? I mean, it's gonna it's gonna bust those pipes so bad
Blow
and
those things
twist them
wide
up.
open.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, so a lot of the garages, man, in your area and in Chicago and all those Midwestern areas, they can be serviced anytime. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
weather's not even a factor.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
Ron, why is that? Do you remember why? Ron's in Arizona now. Ron's in the warm region. Why is it they can be serviced anytime?
because they're inside.
Yeah, that's number one. But the other thing is, and Tommy Jurek, Ron, you're from me and Ron used to kid about this stuff because over here, I have a lot of people in New York City. I've been to Spark Steakhouse where Castellano was killed. But me and Ron's from Ron. Is your family from South Chicago or you're from Chicago?
But I was born in Blue Island. It's in South Chicago.
Yeah, Tommy's out there. Tommy, I can tell this when I talk to Tommy on the phone, or we message each other. I think it was like Tommy Tough Nuts. He's
Yeah,
a tough guy.
my family was
Yes.
settled when they came here, on my father's side in Johnson County, but my grandfather uh came right from Ellis Island,
Yes.
opened his tailor business on the south side of Chicago. and he was a tailor for a lot of years. I got to find some of those pictures he's got because he did tailor the man a couple of suits.
Right. You know,
Nobody
Tommy.
nobody believes it, so I don't say who it was, but you
Hey,
know
listen,
who it was.
I watched 2 golf balls for 7
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
Tommy's saying here, salt intrusion also is a big problem. Yeah, that's the biggest problem in the cold weather regions. When they salt the roads, whatever they use, concrete is porous. The salt can sink down there a little bit. If it gets down to the rebar is like this. The rebar holds concrete together. What knocked that garage down in Miami, and I was on a podcast for that with the New York State Parking Association.
Was the chlorine from the pool?
Yes, the chlorine. They kept saturating with chlorine. The Floridians loved
And
doing
John, they were told about it years before. And in a homeowners association meeting, they said, no, we don't want to renovate, man. Can you imagine the liability they have on their hands? The homeowners association said, no, we're not going to spend the money. And the thing falls down.
Well, you know why I fell down? And Tommy Jurek saying he knew Tony Accardo. Oh, real badass, that guy. Real badass. Look, as a cop, I dealt with these crime families straight on, and everything's good. But you know what? What happened to that?
Yeah, but you know what business my father was in.
We'll talk about it another night. I got to go for 5 minutes. But Tommy's saying like this is salt intrusion. What happened in Miami? A lot of Floridians. Listen, I'm going to tell you, Ron. Anybody from Florida can yell at me. Gene O'Neill and them. Yeah. The thing in Florida, the prices are the cheapest because everybody and their mother does pressure washing or soft washing out there. If you can get a niche or a niche, you can make a lot of money. What happened in that garage that caved down? I think it was down by Miami, because they were hiring a contractor, Ron, and because they get algae growth, they were saturating it with a chlorine. Now, what they should have done was, you want to do that? Do it. 6 months later, get a power washing company like mine to go in there and do a deep clean. You hit it with 3,500 PSI, hit that concrete, let the water go down and saturate it. What they didn't do that. What they do in Florida is they spray the bleach, they leave it, let it sit, they rinse it. In the park garage world, in the concrete world, you can't just do that. You cannot. Homeowners, you can, because homeowners driving and driving once or twice a day. In park garage, you got 10,000 people going in and out all day long, or bridges for that matter. You can't just, spray and pray and walk away. Well, guys don't realize that. So when you do that in the garage, you just harden the problem. You make the algae go away, but you sunk the chlorine down into the rebar. And the Floridian guys do this all the time. In the end, in that garage that caved 2 years ago in Miami, 120 people died in that. So something's gonna be hung out to dry. You just can't spray.
The Florida State Bridge was the same thing.
They collapsed.
The metal integrity that holds the anchors together, it failed, right, and the thing fell down. That killed 7 people, man. 7 people.
I remember. The big one is the Miami one. But you know what's going to happen here? And I love Florida. I got a house in South Florida. If I had Ron to spend some time down there when I'm down in Trudy's event, so I'd be down there by myself when I drop off one of my guys at the airport in Tampa.
I get to go to Miami Beach. Oh, no, you're not on Miami side.
I'm 2 hours away. That's how far south I am. But actually, I would be an hour away. Look, if my house is here, see my finger, Ron? If you go south, the thing is Miami is this way. So if Miami was straight down from me, Florida Keys, we'll get there in no time. I'm very south. I like the warm weather. But Florida, they also do. Florida can work 24/7. You can.
I love the Keys, man. I love.
Oh, I've been to the Keys. I've been to the Keys. Sometimes I don't remember what I was doing down there. But I love.
You know what, John? I don't even feel like packing. I think I'm not going to pack.
Well, Ron, listen, I'm gonna have my car down in Florida. You want to jump in my car, me and Stu?
I think I'm just gonna fly out in the morning. I think I'm not even gonna worry about packing tonight. I'm gonna put my different shoes on and leave.
Well, listen, you got an open offer. I'm gonna tell the guys here, because Ron's a good friend of mine for many years. Even though we used to fight cats and dogs on the computer, we always stay friends on the side. I'll take it down to my place. We'll hang out at my place.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah. All right, Ron, I gotta close it out because I still need dinner.
Adios, man.
No,
guys, register, free event, National Cleaning Expo. The garage cleaning's going up tonight. If you're thinking about jumping on the garage cleaning, get on it, because tomorrow morning the price goes up.
Ron, let me close out the show. I'm going to say Tommy again. Tommy Guns, Tommy Nuts. People call me a lot of names too. They call me Johnny the Mauler here. Gary from the Castle calls me Johnny the Mauler because we have a history, me and him. But Tommy says too many uneducated people running around the country think that bleach is the only answer, not realizing the destruction it leaves in the end. Bleach is the number one chemical we use outside of water. It's huge, but there's a lot to learn about this stuff. Eric Wiener says, "So you see you guys next." It says, "So you guys next." We'll see them this week. All right, guys, I'm gonna close it out. Great show, Ron. I came in fast. I got my ACDC shirt on. I'll see you guys in a couple of days. If you want to go to my garage class, it's a niche, and the biggest companies in our industry are in the bug garage world, but there's so much work. My God, you can't keep up with this stuff. Jump on my class for the night's end, or jump on it during the week. My class is one as high as $600 at the door. I love to see you guys in there just to learn what I know.